Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel, Free Because I Know. So friendships can be hard. Yes, I know. Friendships are awesome, but they can also be filled with drama and complications and just problems, right? But God created us to be around each other. We're created for relationships, for friendships. So today I'm going to talk about being a true friend. Like, what does that look like? What is a godly friend supposed to behave like and not to behave like, right? So I'm going to talk about a few qualities that are bad that I see today in friendships, especially with media and social media and all this stuff. So one quality I see is jealousy. Jealousy and comparison. When we compare ourselves to our friends, we look at them and say, man, I wish I was as skinny as her. Or man, I wish I could play that sport as well as he could. Like, when we can start comparing ourselves to our friends, we can start to, have these jealous thoughts about them, and they're not healthy. We start looking down upon them instead of supporting them and bringing them up and lifting them up and being happy for them and encouraging them. We start to not encourage them and to wish bad things upon them, which is horrible, and we don't need to do that. We don't need to compare ourselves to our friends. So I have a verse here from Galatians 6:4, which says, pay careful attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Man, this is big. It hits it right on the nail. Perfect. Pay attention to what the Lord has set in front of you, and you won't feel like you need to compare your life to their life. We need to encourage one another, not bring them down. Romans 12:15 says, rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn, live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of lower positions. So rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. So sometimes it's easier to mourn with others than it is to rejoice with them. We need to make sure we're also rejoicing with them and we're happy for them when they get that raise at work or whatever it is. When they get an awesome grade on the exam and you didn't. We need to make sure that we're rejoicing when they rejoice as well, which just can be so hard. Don't get me wrong, I know. So yeah, we just need to make sure we're working on not being jealous about our friends, because we want to be happy for them and support them and to show God's love. Another thing I see is a lack of communication. With all these cell phones and computers and laptops and everything, communication has really, kind of slacked. It's not as good as it used to be when people used to write letters, believe it or not. And we really need to work on talking and communicating to one another. We want to grow closer to our friends and to know about their lives. We need to show God's love in their lives, and we need to encourage and help each other. And we can't do that if we don't know what's going on in their life. So we need to work on communicating to one another. Also, I see that friendships can be one way. Like maybe you're always the one texting that person or asking if they want to hang out, and it's never reciprocated. Like that action is never reciprocated. That's not a true friend either. It takes two people for a relationship. It's not a one-way road. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. We need to make sure we're sharpening each other, and it takes two to do that. We need to make sure that we're helping and encouraging each other towards the Lord. Another one is from Hebrews 10:24-25. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works, and let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is near. So we need to make sure that we're not neglecting meeting with one another, but we encourage them. We encourage each other. We need that relationship. We need that friendship, guys. It's so important. We're not made to be by ourselves, but we're made to encourage one another and to not neglect our meeting together. I feel like sometimes people may look at my relationships with friends sometimes, and I talk to them. Maybe I talk to this friend more, or I'm a little bit more open with them, and this person looks at them and looks at how I talk to them, and they're like, wow, she doesn't talk to me like she's talking to that person, so she must not like me. But guys, that's not it at all. It's like I've grown closer to that person, and I've had more of a, friendship with that person, so I know a little bit more about what's going on in their lives. And we may see it in the same way with God. We see, wow, that person, God is really talking to that person. Why isn't God talking to me like he is to that person? It's the same thing. That person's time to know God, to spend time with him. So we need to make sure that we're communicating to one another and growing closer to one another and not neglecting our meeting together. And we need to be loyal to our friends. We don't need to betray them and talk bad about them behind their backs, right? Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times." Another version says, "A friend is always loyal, and a brother is born to help in a time of need." I believe this is NLT version and New King James Version. So we have to love our friends at all times. Another one by John 15:13 says, "There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend." Man, I want that kind of love in my friendships, right? Where I'm willing to lay down my life for my friend. We need to make sure we're showing love and supporting one another and encouraging each other towards the Lord. Jesus was an awesome friend. We need to strive to be a friend like him. Yes, he ate with sinners. He talked with sinners, but his close friends were his disciples, right? The people that could encourage him and uplift him and help him. But, I pray that we be like Jesus. Yes, we need to guard our hearts, but we also need to show love to everyone and not just say our closest friends or our Christian friends. We need to be like Jesus and be more open. I feel like today a lot of Christians aren't as open as non-Christians. Like non-Christians will talk more and be more open about their lives than actually Christians. And I feel like it should be the opposite. I feel like we as Christians should be better friends than non-Christians. And it's something that we really need to work on. And I see a lot that Christians aren't, being true and godly friends. And we need to be more open and show God's love to everyone around us. So just to recap, a few things like qualities of godly friends are being caring and supportive of one another and not being jealous. We need to love always, and we need to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. And we need friends that are going to encourage us towards Jesus and just period, to encourage us in life, because life is difficult. Yes, we need that encouragement. We don't need to neglect meeting together. And we need to be forgiving, and we need to communicate. We need to have mercy and grace with each other and show God's love in our relationships and our friendships. I hope this encouraged you today to have a better relationship with your friends, to show God in your friendships, and to be more godly in your friendships, and to really be a true friend, to be a godly friend. So thank you for watching. I hope you give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and also share this video with everybody you know. So yeah, thank you for watching.